Hola, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos a la clase de español. Welcome to Spanish class. I am Profe Yareli, not a professor. Profe is just what we call teachers in the Spanish-speaking world, and that's what I go by in school. And let me just present here. I'm going to tell you a little bit of what we do and what we use in our class, and then things that we need in order to accomplish this, and then my information in case you need to contact me for any reason. So in Spanish 1 and in Spanish 2, it's a beginning class. We're beginning to learn the language. Spanish 1 is more like exploring, and then Spanish 2, we're moving into more using the language a little bit more. We use a number of resources for this purpose. Avancemos is our textbook. We use a lot of music videos. We use videos about culture, grammar, readings, authentic readings, maybe short passages of various topics. And all of this is combined in order to make language more comprehensible at this age, or at this level, I should say. Every day we practice speaking, reading, listening, and writing so that we can include all the components of learning another language. Spanish 1 is more about listening, reading, and writing. A little bit of speaking, because of course we need to understand first before we can express. Spanish 2, we are sort of expressing a little bit more and using the language more. Okay, and the things that we use, very minimal. Most of the time we are using the language and we're doing a lot of practice and a lot of taking notes and having short conversations with the Spanish that we're learning. But I do ask for students to have a composition book, sort of like the one that you see. Those are great because they take notes that they could refer to when they need to. So it's sort of like a notebook / resource book for their Spanish class. They're small, they're inexpensive, they can stay in my class. I would make a section for them, and that way I could easily also check and see the students' notes and what they're doing. We use a lot of markers, color pencils when we do projects, and then dry erase markers for our little whiteboards when we're doing activities that have to do with responding in the target language. Okay, so a little bit of Spanish 1 and what we do in order to progress to the next step. For this class, our level is, because we're starting with just words, or we're starting with no words, our goal is to get them to the beginning towards the middle of the progress levels. Proficiency is having what is the basis of the language, vocabulary, the grammar that we're studying, and then making it to the next step. So sort of like math. If you know your addition and your multiplication, then you can do algebra, right? It's sort of the same thing. So to illustrate this a little bit, the students in Spanish 1 start with no words, or with just a few words that we have memorized. And so we practice a lot. We do a lot of practice reading, writing, connecting to videos, connecting to images, a lot of visuals, so that we can internalize the language, so that we are able to go to the next step, which is novice, mid. Novice meaning beginning towards the middle. And once they get there, then we start using more words, short phrases that we might have already internalized, and we're using them for different topics. And that's our goal towards the end of the year. So that means we have to practice a lot along the way. There's another illustration here. So in the first part, we're just using words, and I don't know if I can move my camera here, maybe not. We're using words, and then the next step is we're using phrases. We're using phrases, short phrases. And that's all we're asking for. We're beginning. Learning a language takes a long time. So steps, small steps, but strong, small steps. Okay, for Spanish 2, we're starting a little bit more at the middle of that. So our goal is to end at intermediate mid-level for Spanish 2. And again, we do the same thing. A lot of vocabulary that is connected to images, to symbols, to practice, a lot of practice in many ways. And then we want them we are starting at a sort of novice, at a level of novice high, where we use some words, some short phrases, some fragments of the language, because we have already explored the language from Spanish 1. So then we are trying to push them to the next level where they're using more than one sentence, that using the words that they already know. And sort of, even though they're not organized and they're not in correct grammar accordance, but they're still creating sentences in the Spanish language, which they already know the meaning. And that's where we're going to end up as well. So we're a lot of practice along the way. And their ladder, and here's the ladder again, using strings of sentences and full sentences when possible. So short steps, but strong short steps. Okay, and then just to show you what we do to get there. Let's see. Students are able to see this agenda every week, and every week this is updated. It has a lot of resources for them to practice. It has the question that we are focusing on, and our objectives, our connection to the standards, and then a sequence of activities and assignments that we do on that day. It includes directions, links, so that the students are able to either preview it if they need to, or review it after we're done, practice if they need to. Everything's available and shared with them so that they can do this. Like I said, it's updated every week. So, but that doesn't mean they cannot access it anymore. At the bottom of each document for their agenda, there is the previous weeks that we have covered. So they're able to always go back to week 1, week 2, week 3, and review anything that they probably missed or they needed to see again. This really helps them work with the class, but also work at their own pace if they ever need to review anything. And of course, I'm always open at any time for them to come and ask during class, through an email, or or during access time, which is another opportunity for them to seek help. And lastly, parents are also welcome to email me. If there's anything that you need to communicate with me, please do so. I am going to communicate if I feel the need, or if I need some advice from parents. Parents are the first teachers of their children, and I take that very seriously. If I see that there's a need of a student needing support, I will seek your help, and I welcome you to do the same. Any questions or anything, please feel free to contact me, email me. And thank you for seeing the presentation. Gracias.